What is up, everyone? OJ over here from PlayerEssence, and welcome to the PE Nintendo Switch and Gaming News video. Today, we've got some great information for you, so let's go ahead and get right into it. The May 2017 NPD reports are in the best-selling games on Nintendo Switch, 3DS, and games through 2017. So once again, I do want to go over some of this information. PS4 was the #1 home console sold, followed by the Nintendo Switch at second, but there have been those component shortages that have really been slowing down Nintendo Switch's sales so far. So hopefully they can get that worked out. But either way, it's definitely better than being the Wii U and on store shelves dusty as hell for eternity. I'm glad the Nintendo Switch is even selling as well as it is to be #2. Now moving on to the top 10 here, we do have the 10 NPD as far as Nintendo Switch games. At #1, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. 2, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. 3, Ultra Street Fighter 2 The Final Challengers. 4, Disgaea 5 Complete. 5, 1-2 Switch. 6, Lego City Undercover. 7, Puyo Puyo Tetris. 8, Super Bomberman R. 9, Just Dance 2017. And 10, The Binding of Isaac Afterbirth Plus. One thing to note that this does not include digital sales, so this is all physical from the US only. So what do you guys think about this here as far as the sales go? Oh, and just to kind of lump in the 3DS and Vita, because that's what the NPD does, Fire Emblem Echoes, Shadows of Valentia, Pokemon Sun and Moon, Super Mario Maker. There was no PS Vita games at all on here, so it's just Nintendo 3DS, but they lump in the handhelds or the true dedicated handhelds together. As far as best-selling games through 2017 so far, Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Wildlands, For Honor, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, Horizon Zero Dawn, Grand Theft Auto 5, Mass Effect Andromeda, Resident Evil 7, Biohazard, NBA 2K17, Injustice 2, and Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. Really good that the fact that The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild is on there at #3, considering the install base of the Nintendo Switch at this point, and compared to all the other different systems there. And even The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild outselling Horizon Zero Dawn, 60 million units there. So pretty good for Nintendo so far. I think they had a solid NPD month when it comes to May, and I look forward to things even getting better because ARMS released in June, plus we have Splatoon 2 coming up, so hopefully Nintendo is securing more stock for those big games. Alright, and moving on to probably one of the best things as far as news that came out of the 3.0 update. So the Pokken Tournament controller is now compatible with the Nintendo Switch in the 3.0 update, and this is very good for many different reasons. So the thing with the Wii U is that even when you have this Pokken Tournament Pro Pad controller, you cannot use it to navigate the menus or move around your system on the Wii U. It only works in Pokken Tournament. The same goes for the Nintendo GameCube controller when plugged in through the adapter. Now with this controller, you can actually use it through the menus and everything as far as on the Nintendo Switch. To me, that shows that the OS and the system is just much better suited for updates, because that reverse engineering with older products didn't really work with the Wii U. The only controllers really that worked with that was the Wii Remote, which Nintendo put in mind. However, the GameCube controller through USB, the Pokken Tournament Pad through USB, none of those work. So that is a good sign that Nintendo has controllers via USB working, because they even updated the Nintendo Switch Pro controller to act as a wired controller when you plug it in through USB, and also to update the controller as well. So it just shows that there's a lot more advanced features with the Nintendo Switch with this newest update, and we can probably bank on Nintendo adding in GameCube controller support now that the USB ports can be used for wired communication on controllers outside of just charging them. So this is very good news for Smash Brothers when that comes out, and of course the Virtual Console, because some people were saying as far as Virtual Console GameCube games, how are you going to be able to play them because of no pressure sensitive analog triggers? Well, here you go. It looks like Nintendo's put into motion those plans. So we'll see what comes of it maybe next year or the year after. Not sure when there's going to be Virtual Console for GameCube, but I do know that this is definitely good news with Pokken Tournament, and I'm really excited to play Pokken Tournament Deluxe on the Nintendo Switch September 22nd. I think it launches, and this controller is absolutely perfect for it. Alright, and moving on to the next article here. Level 5 comments on Nintendo Switch support again. So a lot has been talked about when it comes to Nintendo Switch support, lack thereof, what Nintendo's strategy is or plan, but like I've been saying all along, we're definitely going to see some games, especially from Japanese developers, and the Level 5 president Akihito Hino once again commented on Nintendo Switch support, and here's what he had to say on the matter. Here was the question from Game Informer: how has work gone with the Nintendo Kingdom recently, and are you excited about making games for the Nintendo Switch? Quote from Hino: well, let's just say the Nintendo Kingdom in recent years has really sprung back with the Nintendo Switch. So I think it's time to increase our foreign trade development department with the Nintendo Kingdom. So this is very good information here. Hino seems very excited about the Nintendo Switch. They're working on potentially getting Professor Layton game on there. There's been some rumors or some hinting by Hino that Inazuma 11 will be coming to the Nintendo Switch as well. So like I said, it pretty much follows the plan here. Nintendo is going to have amazing first-party support for this year. They're going to sell out the system. They're going to keep sales up because of that quality first-party support from Mario Odyssey, Xenoblade Chronicles, Fire Emblem Warriors. Then hopefully some of those other developers see that install base and jump on in the years coming. I think that's the plan because that's pretty much the plan that's been laid out. I think that's a solid plan considering how well the Nintendo Switch has been selling at this point. So let's hope that Level 5 brings Yokai Watch, brings Inazuma 11, brings Professor Layton and all of their great series to the Nintendo Switch in the near future. Alright, and moving on to some good and bad news as far as for me personally. So the good news is that Hironobu Sakaguchi, the father of Final Fantasy, the creator, has announced his next new game. It is Terra Battle 2, and it's been announced for PC and smartphone. So the latest issue, as far as Famitsu, they announced Terra Battle 2 for PC, iOS, Android, and another game called Terra Wars for unannounced platforms. So Terra Battle 2 is a joint development between Mistwalker, who are handling the image, sound, and scenario, and Silicon Studio, who are in charge of programming and materials, and will launch as a free-to-play title with microtransactions in Japan in 2017. So the one thing that I want to talk about, and there's more information on Terra Battle 2 if you want to get into it. I downloaded it at one point. I was like, okay, this is cool, but this is not Hironobu Sakaguchi in my opinion. This is not what I feel the father of Final Fantasy should be doing. Like, it seems as if he's been blackballed by the industry. It seems that ever since Lost Odyssey, nobody wants to give him a chance. Like, after what happened with Square Enix and he left, obviously he put so much money into that stupid Final Fantasy movie that flopped, and it just seems like nobody wants to give him a chance. Nobody wants to let him be able to make great games, give him the funding that he deserves and that he needs in order to get console games. So this whole Terra Wars thing, that could be a console version of the Terra Battle, but still, this whole smartphone gaming thing, I just don't think it's Hironobu Sakaguchi. I think this is below him. I think he's much better than this. Remember, this is the guy who did The Last Story. This is the guy who did Lost Odyssey. This is the guy who did the original Final Fantasy. This guy has done so many great and epic RPGs made in the same vein of what you would see with Lost Odyssey and what you'd see with Final Fantasy. Why is he making smartphone games? Like little cards and doing stuff like this. I understand that he's proud of it. I know it puts, you know, food on the table and it lets him pay his bills. I mean, I'm pretty sure he already has money from everything that he's done, but I understand you got to make money, and smartphone is a way to make money. And he has a dedicated group of fans that will purchase Terra Battle stuff as far as the microtransactions go. That's apparent. But I just feel that it should also branch into the industry not blackballing him. There should be more stuff for him, and I'm hoping and I'm praying that Nintendo jumps back in like it did The Last Story and gets this man something to work on. Microsoft, Sony, I don't care who. Someone jump in and save this man from having to do this. Somebody buy this studio. I would like someone to purchase Mistwalker. I think Nintendo, I don't ever call for Nintendo to buy things. People always say, buy Capcom. That's not happening. Nintendo can't afford to buy Capcom. Capcom is too big. You can't put a monetary value on Resident Evil, on Mega Man, and all that. It's not about the sales that they do. It's about what their perceived value is. It's too high. Capcom is too valuable for anyone to just buy them outright. If they weren't, then somebody would have already done it at this point. They're just too big. Whereas with Mistwalker, what do they have? They don't really own anything. You know what I'm saying? They're not a super huge company. I think it's time for someone to pick these guys up and let them make the games that they're supposed to make. I don't want Hironobu Sakaguchi to retire and his legacy to be outside of like Final Fantasy and all that. I don't want it to be Terra Battle. And look, Terra Battle's not a bad game, but I just feel that he needs more than this. Like, he doesn't deserve to be put into this situation. And it's unfortunate because a lot of fans are arguing about a lot of other stuff when it comes to Nintendo, when it comes to third party, when it comes to exclusives and all that. But probably the biggest injustice that's going on in the video game industry right now is this man and what's going on and how he's been blackballed. Like, come on, you can't have since what, the last story? We can't get a single game since the last story. We can't get in a single announcement. Now look, I know Terra Battle or Terra Wars or whatever is going to be coming probably to consoles, because he promised that if there was a certain milestone hit with Terra Battle, but it had to come to that. Like, why does he have to reach a certain number on a smartphone game in order to get that same smartphone game on consoles? It just doesn't make sense to me, and I don't like it. It doesn't suit well with me. It makes me physically upset that this is happening to this man. And I don't really get upset about a ton of different things. I'm usually shaking off things. I can brush it off, especially with video games. It's video games, right? But to me, I don't think this is what he truly wants to do. And it's upsetting to me that this is what he's been forced into, you know, after the Lost Odyssey, after the last story. I don't like it one bit, and I would hope that somebody, Nintendo, Microsoft, Sony, somebody save this man and this studio from this crap, because I'm tired of it. Look, smartphone is cool, I get it, but he should be making the next version of Final Fantasy, or the next Lost Odyssey, or the next Grand Adventure. All of his games are so great. The Lost Odyssey was amazing. The last story was amazing, and why is he doing this? Like, it's upsetting, but it is what it is, right? There's nothing we can do. But I would try to reach out, obviously. If you can get Terra Battle, the more money he can make, the more that people, you know, see him out there, that's better for him. But I would definitely like more people to talk about this, because there really hasn't been much in the way of Western media covering this man. I'd like there to be more spotlight on what's happening to him and why this is happening as far as smartphone gaming. Like the father of Final Fantasy. Are you serious? You know, like, I don't like it. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. If you want more information on Terra Battle 2, check out the link in the description below. Gamatsu has your back when it comes to all the information there. Alright guys, that wraps it up for this video here. Check out the links in the description below. We've got Facebook, we've got Twitter. Go ahead and give us a like and a follow on our social media. It really helps us spread the content of PlayerEssence across the interwebs, in addition to YouTube. Also, make sure you check out our Patreon page. Pledge any tier. Be entered in to win some awesome prizes. We've got $10 prized eShop tournaments for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, ARMS, Smash Brothers, and more coming up. In addition to that, Discord voice chat for our live streams, and special giveaways that we'll be having as well. So support PE Live and PE Arena right here on PlayerEssence. Also, make sure you hit that like button if you did like this video. Lets me know you guys want more content like this going forward in the future. And subscribe to PlayerEssence for the latest news, reviews, discussions, and more. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll catch you ninja for the next video. Peace.